Hello, I'm Andrew Blount, and I'm running for Governor of California. If you live anywhere in California, you may already know me. You may have used some of the software that I've invented or a website that I designed. You could know me as the Christmas lights guy or as the mayor of Laguna Hills. Many of you have already voted for me in an election before. A few months ago, a group of friends approached me and asked if I would consider running for the governor of California. The first thing that I wanted to know was, am I the right leader for California? I did a lot of soul searching. I talked with business people here in the state. I talked with my wife, I talked with my kids to ensure that this is something that I'd be good at, something that I could lead California through some tough times, and the answer was yes. The second thing that I did is I checked with people to see if there was support for electing me, and there was overwhelming, resounding support. The outcry of people wanting to elect me as governor was amazing. This is a decision that a decade ago I never dreamed that I would make, and today I stand firmly behind it. This election is about you and not about me. This election is about your family, your finances, and your freedom. Whatever situation you're in today, I understand it and I've been there. In a minute you'll hear a little bit of background about me and why it is that I get where it is that you are. And until somebody understands you, they really can't help you, even if that help is simply getting out of your way. After deciding to run, all of the smart guys showed up at my door. There's a bunch of smart guys. The first thing the smart guys told me was not to create this video. They said, Andrew, it's going to be too long. It's going to be too difficult. Nobody's going to listen to the entire video. And I decided that it was better to create something to where if I'm going to ask for your vote, you should really be able to get to know me. The second thing they told me is that it needed to be something that was slick. It should be something that was production value. It certainly shouldn't be in front of your kid's gym in your backyard. I went for something that was real instead. They told me it had to be short and that I should talk strictly in sound bites. And you'll hear, and if you look at the link of this video, I'm here to tell you about me, and I'm here to tell you about why I'm good for the state of California and why you should have hope. Thanks for inviting me into your living room or into your office. Hopefully you're not inviting me into your driver's seat because that isn't going to work out too well. The same guys that told me to make a short video and all the smart guys, they told me not to wear this shirt. Instead, they told me to wear what I affectionately call a blue panda, which is one of those shirts that you see all the politicians talking to people in when they want to come and pander to you. They put this blue shirt on and they roll up the sleeves. Quite frankly, I'm not a blue panda kind of guy, and so you're not going to see me wearing this type of shirt. Not today, and really never, unless I have a tie on and I'm sitting in front of a city council meeting as a mayor, then it's appropriate. For talking with you, it's really not. They also told me not to wear this hat, and I agreed, so we're not going to be wearing the hat. What I'd rather do is listen to you. If you're going to vote for me, then you should get to know me. And this is something you should get to know that I'm a real person. So the question becomes who is this guy? Well, I'm a person that has always taken a difficult path. I've experienced troubled times. I've experienced heartache. I've had to live with bad decisions that I've made up along the way. I grew up in a single wide trailer. As a parent, I had a brother, and my folks and I, we built a house living in that trailer, and it took us 5 years to build the house. Each night I would go outside when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I would mix concrete. I would help hammer nails. I would help my folks and my mom do the carpentry. We didn't have much money. My mom and I would grow vegetables. We'd sell these vegetables in order to help pay for our family bills. When food was really tough, my mom and I would actually stake out the dump. We would get in the truck and we'd go straight to the front of the dump. When the Frito-Lay man came by and he was getting ready to dump a load of apple chips, we would offer to take those apple chips off of him. He could keep the money that he was going to use at the dump, and we'd bring him home and freeze them, and that'd be our food for the next few months. Not liking working on a farm, I started writing software when I was 6 years old. We had one present for our family, and that was it. The whole household had a single present, and that was a computer. It was great because being a bit of a fat kid and being with a really white, pasty face, I wasn't made for working outside in the 105-degree weather. It was a lot better to work inside on my computer. I wrote database programs. They weren't the most exciting programs in the world, but I did okay. I was able to sell them via mail order. If I was a game writer, I probably would have had a lot of dates during high school, but I did it. I was a database guy, and it's helping in this election. You probably had something in school called Friends. I had a computer. I learned my way by working. I took the hard path. A few years later, when I was 19 years old, I moved to California with just $17 in my pocket. I remember it just like it was yesterday. A friend and I, we got in the back of his Jeep Wagoneer. I dismantled my Suzuki 550 motorcycle, and I made a trek in the winter out to California. I later took a trip across the Grapevine with that same $17 in my pocket and had a very difficult time at it. I had snow that was coming down on me, a little bit of rain that turned into ice, and I followed a truck for 2 hours. And all I could see was the little red taillight of that truck throughout the entire time to the south side of the Grapevine in my way to San Diego. I wanted to come to San Diego because I had hope for future. I had a hope for my future. I had a hope for the family that I might one day have, and I needed to be able to have a different degree of success than I'd had before. I was blessed with a skill, and I was able to write computer software. At the time, being a 9 or 10 or 11-year-old software developer wasn't as cool as it'd be today, and there was no internet, so it was hard to find a job. But that was okay. I started a small business, and from a small business, I grew it. I was able to sell it. I've run a big business too. Today, I'm very blessed. I'm married to a beautiful woman named Michelle. I have a 13-year-old son named Ethan and a 6-year-old daughter who's a light of my eye named Faith. In 2009, my wife Michelle and I started the Blount Family Christmas Lights show. And it is what it sounds like. We put about 120,000 lights on our house. We tour tens of thousands of people each year through the inside of our house. Last year we passed out about 1,800 gallons of apple cider and over 200,000 donuts to people that came by. Each night folks come by our house and there's a reason that they're here. You may have a mom who is having a rough day and her kids are not feeling Christmas, and she brings them by in order to be able to tour our home. You may have somebody that's out of work and they're having a rough time at it. You could have somebody that lost a family member and it's Christmas for them is difficult. The holidays are difficult. We're here, and our Christmas lights are here to put a smile on people's face, and folks come in droves from all over Southern California and even farther to be able to see the show, and it puts a smile on their face. Well, through talking with thousands of people that come by to our Christmas lights, I discovered that there's some real issues, and in my city there were real issues, and I was able to talk with folks and understand what the issues were, and so I decided to run for city council. Later, I was elected, and in addition to being elected to city council, I was elected mayor of the city of Laguna Hills. My campaign trail is started there. Now, here's what I believe in. I stand for freedom and for individual rights. I believe that the government is here to provide shared services and to protect your individual rights. I believe that you should be able to keep more money. I believe in a small government. And what's a small government to me? A small government would be a government where there's only a 5-minute wait at the DMV. I believe that businesses and jobs are getting killed through overregulation. See, I was blessed as a computer programmer. There was no license that it took for me at 6 years old to start writing software. When I started my first business when I was 8 years old, there was no regulation surrounding that business, and I was able to thrive. Throughout California, high-tech does really well right here in our state. Many of the world's best high-tech companies, in fact, I believe the world's best high-tech companies are right here in California. And the reason is because we don't over-regulate those companies like we do other industries. I'm also a believer in not having favors when you come into political office. We'll be talking about that one in just a minute. I'm running a campaign literally without raising money. There'll be some small donations that come in, $20 and $50 here, but there's going to be no $20,000 fundraising events like you see in a typical governor's race. The reason is that we're in the 21st century now. We have this thing called the internet. We have this thing called an iPhone. We have Androids and email. There are lots of ways that I can get in touch with you. There's lots of ways that you can learn about me that aren't expensive. And when I'm elected, I am not going to owe anybody any favors because there will not be large contributions that come into my campaign in order to sway my vote. Why on earth do you think that somebody gives a campaign $27,200 a person or $100,000 a family, or a PAC comes in with millions of dollars if it isn't to sway a vote? Those type of contributions are not coming to my campaign. When I'm elected governor of California, no one will have bought this seat for me. This seat of governor of California in the state of California is not for sale. What will I do when I'm governor? Well, it's the governor's job to lead and insist on people getting along. It's also the governor's job to create a good environment for jobs. So what's a job? Well, a job is really simple. A job is just the idea of trading some of your time for money. Now, sometimes you can trade your time for a larger amount of money, and sometimes the amount of money that you receive for your time is huge, and sometimes it's less. This is simple. Sometimes you like what you're doing to trade your time for, and sometimes you don't. Maybe you're young and you're still looking for that first great job. Maybe you need a different opportunity in order to be able to support your family better. We have to realize that we must compete for this business as a state. There are other states around the nation that want our businesses. There are other states that are actively campaigning to get our businesses and our jobs right into their state. Well, California has to step up and do this too. What can we do? Well, there's business tax credits that occur. Other states like New York and Nevada and Texas are offering these tax credits and taking strong businesses and great jobs right out of the hands of Californians and bringing them to other states. And we are doing nothing in retaliation. We have to be able to retain good businesses. This means that we don't over-regulate business. So why elect me? The answer is because I am young and I have a ton of energy. I am a Californian and I am California. I love the mountains and have lived there, and I love the beaches and have lived there too. I have come from agriculture and made my way to high tech, just as the state of California has. I am best because I understand what it takes in order to make ends meet. I know what it's like to have 7 bills at the end of the month and only have the money in order to be able to pay 4 of them. I understand what it means to be able to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I know what it is to be able to have to make decisions in order to meet the needs of your family and the needs of your kids over your own needs. I understand what it's like to build a business and to build one right here in California. I understand small business, and I've run a big business too, and I get them both. I bring an immense amount of experience of working with people. I bring a lot of experience in business. I bring experience in job creation, and I bring political experience. As mayor of Laguna Hills, I have had to make tough decisions. I have had to put the priorities of people above myself, and I've had to make decisions between 2 different people that I represent. Being governor of California isn't about representation. It's about leadership and doing what is right. It's about fairness, and it's about being able to grow this economy and do the best things for your family. The job of a governor is to be a leader and not a representative. There's a big difference between the two. As a leader, you have to put party affiliation aside. I've had to do this as mayor. If you want to elect somebody that agrees with you 100% of the time and votes for your side 100% of the time, then elect a state senator or elect an assembly member. Don't elect a governor. Because as governor, I'm responsible for everyone whose feet touch this ground in the state of California. I'm responsible for advancing everyone's interests. In whatever area you're struggling, I get it. I understand it. I haven't forgotten what it feels like to be poor. I haven't forgotten what it feels like to be held down by regulation. In my business, I feel it today. I didn't research it, I lived it, and I've talked with thousands of people about it. I am your best bet for the state of California, and I have a heart for people. I'm not interested in whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, only if you're a Californian. I'm here to lead all Californians, regardless of party, whether you're Latino, African American, or even Norwegian, which I am. I'm not here to buy your vote. Keep your hard-earned money in your pocket. So how will I get elected if I'm not raising massive amounts of money that you hear about in these types of elections? When I have no advertising and no big fundraising dinners, just friend-to-friend electronic contact. I get elected by you because it turns out that the only thing you need to get elected in the state of California or any state in this nation, from city council to school board all the way up to president, is votes. I don't need money in order to send you telegrams. I'm not going to go and inscribe something in stone and give it to you either. You won't see me in your mailbox. I'm going to use 21st century techniques in order to get information to you to help you make a decision on who's going to most benefit your family. This June, I need your help. I need your vote. This election is not about me, it's about you. It's about what you're going to do for your family and what you're going to do for your future. I want to serve you as governor. It's not that I looked around and saw that nobody else was running. It isn't out of some sense of civic duty or having to give back. Being governor is the greatest job in the world because in no other job can I positively impact your pocketbook and your life in a better way. If you believe that your income should grow faster than your expenses, then vote for me. If you believe that fees for college are too expensive, then vote for me. If you believe that every woman and man should have an equal opportunity to put away for savings and lead a good life, then vote for me. I'll be a great governor for you, someone you can be proud of, and somebody who thinks of you first. As governor, I can positively impact your job, your business, and the business that you own today or are going to own in the future. Whether you're voting by mail or at the polls, vote Andrew Blount. If your feet are touching the California soil, then I'm here to advance your interests, and I need your vote. I'll listen to you. I'll make decisions that benefit your family. If you're not registered to vote, go to registertovote.ca.gov right now to register. In order to volunteer for my campaign, go to andrewblount.com. That's AndrewBlount.com. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for all of California. Our future depends on you.